Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome. It's time for your number one source for Native American television news, Native News Today. Thanks for being with us today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, welcoming you in to the studios here and to Tulsa CW 1219 on a fine Saturday morning. Lots going on in Indian country this week. Lots happening out there in the Tulsa area and the surrounding areas, all of our 11 county boundary. So we're out covering it, getting things done this week, and some big news in Indian country as we move a little further south. The Choctaw Nation bids farewell and happy trails to Chief Greg Pyle. He is now moving on to future endeavors in his life after 17 plus great years as principal chief of the Choctaw Nation. We're going to have a look back at his ceremony. We went down to Durant with the principal chief, George Tiger, accompanying him, and went to that event for Chief Pyle. Very great day there. Emotional, but also very happy for the chief and to send him off. So we'll have a look at that event that we went to. Also, we'll hear some comments from the brand new Choctaw principal chief, Mr. Gary Batten, who was the assistant chief there for many years. So it's like our second chief here. Things will continue to run smoothly there at Choctaw Nation. And so Gary Batten doing a great job. Also, we have some great things coming up with the continuing legal education seminar our district court puts on every year, the Muskogee Creek Nation, and we'll be talking with a special guest here in just a moment. And also got some big news coming out of Creek Nation this week as they hold a press conference announcing the festival entertainment lineup. A little bit later on, we'll get you jazzed up for the festival, get you ready for that. With some look back and all those great things. So got a great show lined up, lots to talk about, lots that we're covering this week. We've been several places in the state of Oklahoma, so it's nice to be back in home base, and we're going to take our very first break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the district court judge of the Muskogee Creek Nation, the Honorable Greg Bigler, talking about the CLE. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
For 3 years, kids have been asking their parents, what is that hill on the river going to be? What answer did you give?
Did you tell them that someday that half-finished structure will be one of America's most important attractions, bringing visitors from around the country and the world to Oklahoma?
Along with hundreds of millions of dollars into our economy.
There'll be state-of-the-art interactive displays that bring to life the stories, history, and culture of the 39 tribes that share this state.
A 210-acre landscape park and trail system. Beautiful retail and business space.
This will be another jewel in the crown of our state's tourism industry, and it will pay eternal tribute to the origin of our great state.
It's not a matter of whether we can afford to complete it. We simply can't afford not to. For the current generation of Oklahomans and the generations to come, let's finish it.
Let's finish it.
Let's finish it.
Bumbunakadat nak aja gidomen, ajai jahaniat, omen ibuhwakidos.
Daniels in Ogitskish, Bonshongi Benoat, Bomio, Boshomizatlish.
Momesh, Harishongigo Imongin, Hobidagi, Ani Omaga, Bomahahoye Imongin Oma, Bonshomegigosh. For more information about Muskogee language preservation, please call us at 918-732-7724.
And welcome back to Native News Today. And now we bring in a very special guest, Mr. Greg Bigler, the Honorable Greg Bigler, the District Court Judge here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. So glad to have you with us in studio today, Judge.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here today.
Well, we're talking about the CLE, the Continuing Legal Education Seminar that is hosted every year by the Muskogee Creek Nation District Court. Do a wonderful job. It's one of those that a lot of legal folks in the profession mark their calendar for, because the Creek Nation really does roll out the red carpet. But you guys are excited for the 2014 edition.
Yes, we're very excited about that. I think we have a great lineup, and we're hopeful that we'll have a good attendance.
Yeah, and I think that what's neat about it is not only do they get the education, because that's, you know, the requirement is the lawyers freshen up and things like that, but Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what does it take in the legal field? You constantly have to sharpen up, and these are good ways to do that.
Yes, the Oklahoma Bar Association and most states require that a licensed attorney have 12 hours of continuing education, including 1 hour of ethics. And so that usually means that there's about an hour for each credit, sometimes 50 minutes. And then there have to be written materials and then submitted and approved by the Bar Association.
Yeah, and what the Creek Nation does is not only they take that requirement that is, that they have to get, but also makes it in a great setting. You're there in the River Spirit Event Center, great food. You actually feed everyone and have a lot of different areas covered. So I think the whole experience sort of sets it kind of apart.
Yes, we try to make it so that everybody's enjoyable, get a little bit something to take with and remember it by, get the name and advertising out for the Creek Nation and the district court, and present a perspective that comes from the Muskogee Creek Nation instead of just from the state or the federal side.
What's really neat too, Judge, is that I know that you guys really try to go out and look for topics that are pertinent, that are timely at the matter. Certainly last year, having Chrissy Nemo, the assistant DA at the Cherokee Nation, talking about baby Veronica, that's just an example of the way you guys go out and try to find what's hot at the moment and get those speakers in. I know you're excited about this year's group of speakers too.
Yes, one of the hot topics, of course, nationwide and here in Oak Creek Nation is the Violence Against Women Act. Right. VAWA was passed about a year ago, and one of the, for years and years now, for 30 years, the tribes have been complaining about the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court had said that we don't have jurisdiction criminally over non-Indians. Mm-hmm. And so now under VAWA was being passed last year, under certain circumstances, we can now assert jurisdiction for those non-Indians who have harmed our women or their families.
I think it's great. I was going to ask you about that anyway, because you see on the federal level, VAWA, things of that nature, but also not too long ago on this program, I traveled up to Tulsa and talked with U.S. Attorney Danny Williams in his office, and they talked about seeing more crimes prosecuted in Indian country, not just from their office, but also working in conjunction with yourselves, Attorney General Roger Wiley here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. Judicially, it seems like right now things are really clicking as far as different agencies being able to prosecute a lot of things here in Indian country.
Yes, of course, the court just relies upon anybody else bringing those matters to us.
Right.
But we do have a fair caseload. We have a court of general jurisdiction over criminals involving Indians. Mm-hmm. So it's anything from drunk and disorderly, assault and batteries, theft, and anything like that, drugs. Mm-hmm. So I think we are fairly active in that, but this violence against women and being able to protect the women who are battered, we really are looking forward to.
I think it's great. You see so many of the high numbers and things like that we are combating, and we're doing it in our court system and things like that. But now you've had a chance as judge about 2 years now, I think. Yes. Is that right?
Yes.
About 2 years and definitely settled in now. And what are some of the things that you've really, yourself being Uchee, and close to the Muskogee Creek Nation too, what are some of the things that's been just, I'd say, pleasing for you to be in this position that you're in?
I think that seeing that the amount of ties to the communities that we have, our light horse officers who are the law enforcement officers, most of them are Creek. They're from the communities. You can tell that they have been involved, whether it's the churches, the ceremonial grounds, or whatever, grew up that way. So they understand the communities and the people, and I think that's true throughout the nation if you look at those different offices. Same with our clerks and people in the court system, that they're familiar with those people. And so I think it's really good, and that's one of the things we were doing in our CLE, is that we call it 200 Years of Creek Legal History. And some years we focus on business, sometimes other things. This year we wanted to really draw that in because it's the 200th anniversary of the Horseshoe Bend.
Yes.
And so we wanted to say not only have we still here, but that even going back that far, we had systems of government, systems of law, systems of justice. And it wasn't something just created now. Right. And we want people to recognize that. Of course, we know it, but we want the rest of the state and the federal governments to understand it.
And, as you said, with those systems being in place for that long, very ironic that Indians were labeled uncivilized.
Correct.
Definitely. So give us the whens and wheres again one more time when the CLE is going to be kicking off.
It's going to be Thursday, May 15th and Friday, May 16th at the River Spirit Casino. It'll be for 2 days, and it is open to all, for those who want CLE credits. There is a fee fee, but we are hopeful that others can attend.
It's going to be a great event. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Doing business in Indian country, the Muskogee Creek Nation's 2014 Continuing Legal Education Seminar. And as I said, Mr. Judge Bigler coming into the studio, very, very gracious with his time, and Your Honor, so glad to have you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the rest of Native News Today after this break. Looking for your next 18-hole adventure? Then take a look at Fountainhead Creek Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful confines of Lake Eufaula State Park, large sloping greens and well-placed bunkers characterize the Muskogee Creek Nation's Floyd Farley designed course and offers a fine test of skill for any golfer. Stay up on all the latest gear and equipment with a visit to our pro shop. Have lunch at the Turn at the Clubhouse Grill. We're waiting to accommodate you at Fountainhead Creek. So give us a call at 918-689-3209 or visit fountainheadgolf.com to book your next round. Fountainhead Creek Golf Club, close to home, far from ordinary.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration.
There's a story I heard hundreds of times growing up. The story about the day my grandpa disappeared. I grew up in a world of songs.
I always think of the songs really being the spirit of something. There's a story.
They are the same songs our ancestors sang on the Trail of Tears.
They carry the grief, but they also carry this great love that works the same way at death.
There was one little drop of blood on the back fender, and his glasses was on the dash, and no sign of him.
As they searched, you could hear these songs echo through the forest.
I didn't realize what that would lead me to. A whole rich story of American music history that had never been told. What would you say is the first American music?
Our histories are not written, they are spoken through stories. They are told through our songs.
I want to talk to that man, but he's gone. He's gone somewhere.
When we sing these songs, we're waking up God.
Welcome back to Native News Today, everyone. Want to thank again the Honorable Judge Greg Bigler from the District Court here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. Now good and settled in, as we said, in his a little bit 2+ years, I think, a little over 2+ years as District Court Judge there, doing a great job, continuing some of the great things that they've done with the CLEs over the year. And over the years, and we'll be glad to be at this next one and have you some coverage for that here in the coming weeks. Moving on, as I said from the beginning, a very, very big week, an emotional week at the Choctaw Nation as they bid happy trails and happy birthday, happy retirement, all things bundled together in a celebration for Chief Greg Pyle there in Durant at the headquarters of the Choctaw Nation there at their beautiful resort casino event center. We really had a great time traveling down with the principal chief of our nation, George Tiger, for that event last week. As we said, happy trails to Mr. Greg Pyle as chief, 17+ years. He's done a wonderful job with the Choctaw people and the nation.
We have had an awesome chief in Chief Gregory Pyle, wouldn't you agree? You know, I just think about years ago, you'll talk to some of our elders and they'll say there was a time when we used to walk around with our heads down a little bit. Chief Pyle has got us where our heads are held high. And I just want to thank him so much for all that he has done for the great Choctaw Nation, and more importantly, his focus to stay on our people and improve the lives of our people. And that's what he's always been about.
We're here at the Choctaw Nations Casino and Resort at the Event Center in Durant, Oklahoma. And as you can see behind me, lots of people filing in. Big, big day for Chief Greg Pyle as he not only celebrates his birthday, but his retirement. After 17 plus years of service to the Choctaw Nation as its principal chief, he is stepping down and retiring, and Assistant Chief Gary Batten will take over. And we wanted to be here for this very monumental day for the Choctaw Nation. As you can see, the citizens of this nation very proud of their chief and want to send him off in the best way. We're just glad to be here, and we'll be visiting with some folks, getting comments about this monumentous day as we go through.
You know, I've known Chief Pyle for 32 years. We worked together. He was assistant chief, I was lieutenant governor. We sort of grew up in tribal government together. And so there's been a bond. I'm sad to see him leave for sure. I know he needs to go and do things with his family and all. It is a good day for him, and it's a good day for me, but still it's a situation where I just hate to see it happen. Well, you know, someone who's a leader like Chief Pyle is someone who's loved by his people because he puts his people first. And people know that. They can tell by his actions, by the way he leads. And that's why people come out for these kind of things, because they care for him.
I know Chief Pyle became chief in 1997. I know I won't get into the numbers on financials, but where they were when we started there, when Chief Pyle came in, to where they are now, it's astronomical. It is truly a new, like I said at the point in time, it's like a fresh breath of air. And it has been, and he's type that he will talk to you. He will sit down and talk to you, he will kid with you, and he's just one of us. He doesn't put on airs, he doesn't put himself above you. And he's been a tremendous leader, and it's a well-deserved vacation, retirement, and as has been said, it's bittersweet.
Well, I appreciate it. I've always kind of wanted to be a missionary, and you get to be if you're a leader of an Indian tribe, realistically. And so we did that, and we started businesses, and I was on the first business board in the early 70s, and then became an employee in 82, assistant chief for 32 years, and so it's been a great ride. You know, we like to watch that movie, and anyway, it's a great ride. We just really love working with Indian people. We try to help. You know, we call ourselves sometimes businessmen and missionaries, so you make the money, and much like the Creek Nation and other nations. So we really feel involved. And big thing right now, I'm going to retire, and I've got 7 grandchildren. They're growing up, and I've not got to be with them much. Now we're going to take them camping and boating and fishing. And so we're going to have a really good time with our family.
And once again, we can't say enough about the leadership, the dedication, just the integrity of Greg Pyle and what he's meant for that nation and those people. And as you can see, the entire crowd there, lots of people coming out. That tells you how much the chief was loved by his Choctaw people and the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. So we want to bid him a happy retirement and all of his future travels and things like that. I think from what we heard there from the story, I think Chief Pyle is going to hit the road in his RV and look at some of the greater spots around this great country of ours. So great for him, but also you look at the Choctaw Nation and you think, where's the leadership going to go? He's been a chief for so long. That's why they have consistency there. Mr. Gary Batten, the new principal chief of the Choctaw Nation, and they put together the Choctaw Nation. That is a little video here, and we're gracious enough to share that with us for the program today. This is Gary Batten addressing the Choctaw people for the first time as principal chief, and so excited to do so. I think we're going to be seeing great things from those folks for many years.
Halito, I just wanted to tell everybody that it's indeed an honor to serve as your chief of the Choctaw Nation. And I'm looking forward to serving you, the Choctaw people, in all capacities. For some people, you may not know me, but I grew up in a small town of Clayton, Oklahoma, a town of 700 people in the heart of Choctaw Nation, 3 miles from Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma. When I was 20 years of age, I married my wife, Angie, and went to work for the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Went to work there in purchasing, and then after that, 2 years later, I graduated, went to work in the Women, Infant, Children program for a small period of time, then actually went to the Housing Authority as a deputy director, where I served there for 7 years. And then, of course, in 1997, Chief Pyle came into office. With his leadership, he asked me to build the first ever Choctaw Nation hospital in the history of the Choctaw Nation, and I was honored to do that. We built 7 different clinics after that. We started a recovery center, our Chihuly treatment facility for our tribal members. That's the legacy that Chief Pyle has established, and I'm going to continue that legacy in the future. One of the things I want to make sure that everybody understands is that we are about investing in our people, whether it's through healthcare, education, or jobs. I want to make sure that you understand that we're going to focus on you. You are our priority. You are the ones that we serve. I know this is going to be a transition for a lot of people, and that's what it truly is. It's just a transition. It's a mere continuance of the legacy that's been set by our forefathers. I think about the Treaty Dance in Rabbit Creek and the struggles that those people had in making those decisions. But they knew they were focusing on family. They were focusing on making sure that we had a better way for our children. That is the same type of spirit that I want to continue into the future. We're financially sound more than ever before, 200,000 tribal members strong. And I want to become the #1 tribe in the United States. I don't want to be #2. I'm a little competitive, so I want to make sure that we succeed. I think that we have more opportunity than ever before in front of us. I think that we can continue to balance being in this world that we live in today and keeping our values and beliefs. And I think that's going to be the most important thing as we move forward, is that we make sure to keep that focus on family, relationships, keeping our faith in God, our Savior. That's the most important things, and that's the legacy that I'm going to continue. I'm going to challenge everybody to step up and help me meet the needs of our tribal members. Those are the people that we serve. That's the most important thing we can do, and that's what this is all about. That is what I call the heart of a servant, and that's what I want to do in serving you, the Choctaw people.
And I want to thank again the Choctaw Nation for providing that footage to us and wanting to share that with not only Choctaw people, but Indian country as well, knowing that we have great leadership that's going to continue there in the Choctaw Nation. Here at the Muskogee Creek Nation, these are big, big times coming up, and June is when things really heat up around here, not just temperature-wise, but at the Muskogee Creek Nation in general, as we welcome everyone back, all kinds of visitors, to our 40th annual Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. Talking to Chief Tiger this week and reminiscing a lot, he always likes to say, I was there for the very first one. We had fast pitch softball and the All Indian Rodeo, and look at it now, over 25 events, all free and open to the public. A wonderful way to connect with the Muskogee Creek heritage, a wonderful way for people that haven't been around their tribe for many years, that live in other parts of the country, to have a grand homecoming. And with that getting getting started this week and everybody getting excited, they had the press conference, and we wanted to show you just what makes the festival so great. that's going to wrap it up for another episode of Native News Today. And so glad that you've joined us now. And some of you have been here for 408 consecutive weeks, and we certainly appreciate that loyalty. Some of you just jumping on, just finding out about the show here recently. Oh man, I heard there was a show about natives, for natives, and so we want to watch that. We're so glad that you've joined us too. And tell all your friends, tell your loved ones, and all those folks out there, because we're giving a voice to many years folks that have been voiceless. So it's a great thing that we do on this program. We want to find those stories. We want to connect with our viewers, and that's what it's all about. And we do that in several ways. If you can't catch us here on Tulsa CW 1219, we certainly love our home here on network television, but we also have many other outlets. We understand that some folks want to watch us, aren't in the viewing area. They can certainly do that on our YouTube page. Just go search for Native News Today, Creek Nation Communications, Muskogee Media. Any of these keywords can get you to our YouTube page. You can also go to our Facebook. Native News Today will get you there. We're quickly building likes and building fans on that Facebook page. It's just amazing the outpouring of support that we've got from all of the people out there that want to be a part of what we're doing and see what we're doing throughout the week and the stories that we're chasing down to show you on Saturday. So love having that Facebook page and connecting with you fans that way. Also our Twitter account at Native News Guys. Just look us up, and we're on there too. You can see, as I said, not only on Saturdays, but how we kind of put the show together. It's a little bit of a peek behind the curtain on our production process, and it's a lot of fun around here whenever we're not working real hard, which is a lot of the time. But we want to thank everybody out there for joining us this week. Certainly got a busy month ahead of us, and we're going to get on all those stories and make sure that you're covered out there, because that's exactly what we do. For everybody here at Native News Today, all of our great staff and crew, you all have a great week. We'll see you next time.